Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Never Wanted to Be a Girl Part 4. By Teddy. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. I was trying to fathom why Tia was still referring to me as a girl. But so far, I hadn't been creamed. And I sure was in no position to run away. Anyway, we're here to get Sam a back-to-school wardrobe. Care to join us shopping? Andy muttered something about feeling ill and headed back outside. All of the others except Erica begged off, saying they were shopped out and heading for the park. She also said, as soon as the others left, that Andy was sort of her date, and she was glad to dump him. So where are you headed? Stallone's? Would you believe the lingerie loft, then Gloria's gear? Wow. This I've gotta see. I felt like I was a complete fool for letting them do this to me. But I was no longer glued to the damn wheelchair either. It turned out that we needed to get some clothes so we could get some underwear so I could get some clothes. Hun? Erica and Tia told me not to worry. They just didn't specify what I was not supposed to worry about. So we spent about 10 minutes in a department store getting me measured for a basic blouse and skirt. Which made me look like a very flat girl, since the undies from Hickeys were way too radical. Don't worry, love, you'll have your boobs back shortly. I stared at Tia and cringed when I realized she knew what I was thinking. So back to the lingerie loft. I had often drooled over the displays in the window and hinted to Tia that she'd look awesome in some of their stuff. Now I was going to get to see the place from the inside. I had a strange feeling I would be modeling some of the same silky things for Tia. The first clerk refused to serve us when she found I was really a boy. The owner read her the riot act and was glad to help. Especially when Tia mentioned that I needed a complete wardrobe. Hey, I was just going along with you on this. I need some real clothes for school. Tia wiggled her eyebrows at me. Samantha dear, now I've got you in skirts, I'm not letting you go. She gave me a kiss that left me twitching and licked my hair. It was unfair tactics. We get quite few men in here buying lingerie for themselves. But you're the prettiest I've ever seen. You're sure you're a boy? She stroked my hair. This did not help my cause at all. Tia and Jody made suggestions, and the lady played fetch. The overly tight shaper brief that Jody and Tia squeezed me into squashed everything out of sight. And made me hurt whenever I thought about squeezing Tia into some of their more daring outfits. At least they didn't seem to be in a hurry to make a complete bimbo out of me. I wound up with lots of plain cotton stuff that was really soft, and some comfortable sort of sports bras that would stay in place while holding a pair of silicone breast forms that gave me a figure only a bit less prominent than Tia's. The more I tried to protest, the more racy stuff Tia tried on for herself, causing me serious moral problems. Not to mention pain. When I was wheeled out of the store, Jody had to take a load of packages out to her truck, and Erica was making debutante comments. The manager gave us a 20% discount. Tia was carrying some of her purchases, saying she was going to get something less slinky to wear. We met up with Jody at Gloria's. Here we found several more kids from school catching up on the sales. Sue and her boyfriend ogled us, and he made a bunch of snickering noises. I wanted to hide under the wheelchair. Sue's "Hey Tommy, I wonder how you'd look in a mini," caused him to shut up fast. Especially when she made it sound so convincing. This was not a good sign. Jody commandeered a dressing room, and soon I was up to my ears in skirts and sweaters and other things that belonged on Tia, not me. Every time I was rolled out and helped to my feet, it seemed there were more of the kids from school watching. I figured I was going to die of embarrassment before we were finished. I was not that lucky. When we finally headed out to Jody's truck, it took Erica, Tia, and Karen and her boyfriend Scott to carry everything. Very little of which was Tia's. I was now dressed in a long, soft skirt, incredibly soft cotton turtleneck, and, of course, the boots. I wondered whether it would be Dad or Mom that had the first heart attack. Then I almost had one when we headed for Papa Pepperoni's for dinner. But being able to maneuver, even with help, to our regular spot up on one of the raised platforms made it seem almost worthwhile. I got my favorite bench, with Tia on one side and Jody on the other. It took about 10 minutes till our whole crowd seemed to appear from nowhere to join us. The girls all said I looked good, and one of the guys commented I had a better figure than his girlfriend, which got him slugged. Even if it was true. A loud beeping made Jody curse. 2 minutes later, she had transferred all our stuff inside, and was headed off to some emergency at work. She was replaced by Jeremiah, who was eyeing me like I was dinner. Which was scary, because Jeremiah was both a football lineman and openly gay. Hey, why didn't you tell me, like where have you been all my life? I felt my world start to collapse just before he lost his straight face and broke out laughing. Okay, they put me up to this. He pointed to a couple of Tias and my friends, who were giggling. But you are kinda cute. I stuck out my tongue at him and barely got it back before he took up the offer. Tia was almost on the floor laughing. When the pizzas arrived, the harassment stopped, and I was amazed that no one was being really mean. The conversation moved from my clothes to what classes people were going to take, and loud laments that it was unfair to waste our childhood attending school. Tia insisted in calling me Samantha, and by the time everyone was stuffed, I was answering to that name as readily as to Sam. The guys seemed a bit nervous around me, except for Jeremiah, who asked me for a date. Most of the girls thought it was cool, especially when Tia demonstrated how much she liked the look by getting close and personal. But they all helped us get our stuff outside to load into a cab. Tia and Erica, who accompanied us home, had barely managed to get everything into my room before Mom and Dad got home. They were probably the only people in town that didn't know I was being turned into a co-ed by my girlfriend. So when Tia and Erica announced to them that the new and improved Sam was about to make a debut, they were sitting relaxed in the living room. The girls had updated my makeup, making it look much more wholesome, and brushed out my hair. So with one on each side to catch me if I stumbled, I slowly maneuvered on the crutches into the living room. There was a moment of silence, followed by a scream as Mom jumped up to hold me. Sam, you're walking. I had to lean on her for support. Dad was still staring. Tia retrieved the wheelchair so I could get off my feet. She helped Mom lower me back to a sitting position. Mom seemed unable to say anything. Finally, Dad managed to find his voice. What are you doing in a skirt? He took a breath. And why are you done up like and for a date? He was starting to sputter, and I was afraid he was going to blow his cool. What's this about me and a date? And came into the living room. And stared at me. Oh my God! Sam, you've come out of the closet. I managed to gurgle, and Dad sat back in his chair with an oh shit. He's not gay. Tia was bright red. Even when Jeremiah hit on her, she didn't do anything. She turned redder as she realized she was making things worse. That Jeremiah saw him like this? He's been out in public? The whole gang had a late snack at Papa Pepperoni's, so relax. Erica added her 2 cents. Besides, I think she's cute. Quiet! Mom screamed at all of us. Everyone shut up and sit down. Dad started to say something, and Mom made threatening gestures. She turned to me. Samuel, what is going on? Why are you dressed like your sister, and why is your friend referring to you as a girl? I made some attempt to shrug, but she wasn't buying it. No excuses, now. So I held tight to Tia and started at the beginning. By the time I was finished, Dad looked like he wanted to throw me out of the house or throw up. And had laughed herself silly, and Mom was unable to do more than shake her head and state, when your father and I were your age, no one did things like this. Dad nodded violently. And you don't care? I held on to Tia for emotional support. And pulled myself painfully up onto my feet. 2 months ago, the doctors told me it would be years before I could walk again. Tia and Jody found me these boots. They were right, I'd run around naked, wearing a propeller on my head if it would let me walk on my own. I sank back down in pain. It is, I think, a bit squirrely to dress up like a girl. But it's comfortable, and my girlfriend says she likes me better like this. I paused. And I'm going to look and move like a girl in these boots anyway, so I guess it makes some sort of weird sense to complete the outfit. Dad was shaking his head. I think the accident has warped your thinking. Mom was shaking her head. If she was thinking, she'd realize how silly this is, I mean. Mom just tapered off to silence. And started to giggle. Mom, Sam's my brother, not my sister. And there is no way I'm going to not wear these boots if they're the only way I can walk. So get used to me looking strange. Tia hugged me. Well, I guess since almost the whole school knows by now Sam's gone totally wacko and decided to change sex, I guess I'd better treat her as my sister so I don't get totally confused. And joined Tia. And what's so bad about dressing like a girl? Mom, Tia, and I do it every day. Dad looked like he was going to start beating his head against the wall. Doesn't it matter that he's supposed to be our son and your brother? He pointed at Tia or her boyfriend. Tia smiled. I like her just the way she is. What are you, some sort of weird lesbian? Tia's grinning nods caused Dad to get up and head out of the house. Mom just shook her head and managed to stand up. I'm going to go to bed. And you're in charge. Sam, or whatever you are right now, make sure you eat and do your exercises. And Tia, stay out of her bed. His bed. Never mind. Don't either of you do anything to get pregnant. Good night. She staggered up the stairs and we heard a door slam. Followed by a theatrically screamed, "Why me Lord, I've been a good mother." Sam, remember, don't do anything to get pregnant. And was trying to hold a straight face, but soon she was having trouble breathing because she was laughing so hard. Samantha, I think your mother just said we could sleep together if we don't. She had a really friendly look on her face, and I got some interesting twinges in my undies. I have to do my exercises. I can think of a lot of other fun exercises. So eat lightly, I don't want you to fall asleep too soon. And made some gagging noises, and headed to the kitchen to make dinner. That's all for now. See you in the next video. For more interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, and for exclusive content, please join us on Patreon. Link in the comment.